Residents in the Monessen School District may be paying more in taxes.
And a sophomore at Penn State University died at a fraternity house this week. Hello everyone, and welcome to Channel 14 News. I'm Emily Bennett.
And I'm Matthew Schenkel. Community members packed the meeting room Monday at Monessen School Board's meeting to express their concerns regarding a large proposed tax increase in the preliminary budget for the 2017-2018 school year and to express their desire for a merger. At last month's meeting, the board voted to introduce a preliminary budget with a property tax rate of 110 mils, a 52% increase from the current 72.4 millage rate. The board will vote to adopt the budget on February 14th. Business manager Jeff Fester said with all of the uncertainty at the state level, district officials wanted to leave a margin open in case it will need to apply for an exemption from the Act 1 index limits. Fester said the 110 mil property tax rate is preliminary and the tax rate will not be set until June.
Police say paramedics weren't called until about 12 hours after a Penn State University student fell down some steps at a fraternity house last Thursday. State College police say sophomore Timothy Piazza died at Hershey Medical Center, where he was transferred after being found unconscious at the bottom of the basement steps in the Beta Theta Pi house shortly before 11 a.m. Friday. Penn State has suspended the fraternity, which has also been put on a cease and desist order from the school's Interfraternity Council and the fraternity's national organization. Police say the fraternity is cooperating and investigators are obtaining unspecified video from the group.
The broken down property, formerly the home of internationally renowned artist Malcolm Parcell, has been selected for the 2017 Pennsylvania at-risk list of endangered historic properties. Moon Lawn has declined in the 2.5 years it has been unoccupied. Thieves and vandals have broken doors and locks, scrawled graffiti on walls, and dumped trash on the property. Restoring it, even to its near previous state, would be a challenge requiring time and money, but a remake would be a major boost to the community. The decision was announced today by Preservation Pennsylvania, a Harrisburg group that, according to its website, is the only statewide private nonprofit organization dedicated to the protection of historically and architecturally significant resources.
The Gander Mountain store at Washington Crown Center is making preparations to go out of business. The business announced its mid-January that it's closing its stores in Moon Township and West Mifflin and has been liquidating other stores around the country. In addition to Washington, it continues to operate stores in Monroeville, which opened in April 2016, and Greensburg. The preparations for closing of the Gander Mountain store follows last month's announcement by Macy's that it will close its store at the mall in early spring.
Coming up next, Austin Anderson will have your campus update. Stay tuned.
Gaming. It's something many of us do for enjoyment, but people often say playing video games is bad for your health. Well, it doesn't have to be. Just follow these healthy gaming tips. Make sure to sit up straight. Sit an appropriate distance away from the screen. And remember to blink. It's important for the eyes. Remember, gaming is about fun, so enjoy it, but enjoy it in a healthy manner.
Hi, I'm Brennan Ross. I'm reporting outside the bottom steps of Buell Hall. It's been a nice day in terms of the temperature, 67 degrees currently, but right now, as you can see, I'm getting rained on, but we've had some sun spurting throughout today. What is going on, Mother Nature? Make up your mind. And we'll find out more on the 5-day weather forecast if Mother Nature can make up her mind.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
This week on campus, a lot has certainly happened. One of the biggest things that happened on campus was the fact that Student Senate passed a bill that certainly is going to affect students and the ways that they drink water on campus. With more on that story, here's Harry Oakes.
A motion was made at tonight's Student Senate meeting to pass the water fountain bill. Previously, it was tabled due to some inconsistencies with the bill's writing, but this week, the bill was rewritten and ready to be voted on. In fact, members of the public even attended to urge the bill's passing. Senators spent some time discussing the various details of the bill, and then they voted. The bill was passed unanimously.
So tonight, the Senate just essentially said to move forward with the $425 purchase for the filler, and then we approved $50 to come from Senate funds for a new water fountain, coupled with a $1,000 donation for the first floor of the library.
Later, I had the opportunity to speak with sophomore Senator Olivia Schultz, who introduced the bill.
Well, last week I introduced the Senate Bill 16-1711, or the Water Fountain Installation Act. But when I introduced it, apparently there were some problems unforeseen problems that I was not aware of regarding university policy on the Student Senate spending any large sums of money on capital expenditures, which include, constructing water fountains and all of that. So we had to table the bill. I had to meet with several of my fellow senators to discuss fixing the bill, some things that could be changed. So I think this is a really good initiative because it saves water waste and it gives students a better option for filling their water bottles.
Waynesburg University students on Friday evening had the opportunity to have the most important meal of the day during the late night hours. With more on that, here's Antonio Palulo.
Students gathered in the Beehive February 3rd on a Friday night for some late night dining. SAB put on a breakfast for dinner event, and many of the students enjoyed the event. We spoke with these students to see what they thought about the event. What do you like about events like these?
Well, you get to get together with your friends, eat some decent food, and have some fun.
The food. The food's always a big plus. The atmosphere.
Probably sitting around at the table with friends. I think food is a magnificent way to bring people together. Everyone loves food.
It's a chill environment, so try down on some food with some friends, and just a great time overall.
My favorite part of the event was just getting to see a lot of my friends, sometimes that I don't see on the weekends because they have sports or other different activities, so that was awesome.
Then we spoke to SAB member Kyla Walper about her thoughts on the event.
This is a really awesome way to just come out and have study break, talk to people. We have music playing. It's different than just hanging out with people in the room. We're giving you food, we're giving you something to listen to, throwback music. It's a different thing that many people don't really think about doing. It's a lot of fun.
There was an unexpected amount of students for SAB here at the breakfast for dinner in the Beehive. Students were able to chow down on some breakfast food, have a good time, and enjoy some music. I'm Antonio Blue from Channel 14 News.
For Campus News, I'm Austin Anderson, Channel 14 News.
You can't do anything right. Stupid. You're the biggest
Just
moron
give up.
I know.
Stop trying. There's no point to it. You're never going to be anything.
What is wrong with you?
Why even bother? I mean, you won't amount to anything.
You're a failure. You're trash.
Just give up.
You're worth nothing. You will never amount to anything. You're not worth anything.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
A child is dead after an accidental shooting in Fort Valley. Authorities responded to Indian Oaks Apartments on Monday night. It was reported that a 5-year-old was accidentally shot. The child was pronounced dead at the hospital. The investigation is ongoing, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is assisting. Also, 2 heavily armed and masked men walked into police headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan, and caused quite a stir. Officers moved quickly, arresting the men. But did the 2 do anything wrong? Rod Maloney reports.
Let me go on my way. Let me be free to go.
Do you like it?
Because we've broken no laws. You know this. This is an illegal detention at this point. You better get because we're done. Oh, I will file a complaint.
One of the men who posted this YouTube video of their traffic stop wore his mask during that stop. The other didn't. They immediately made good on the promise to file a complaint.
We felt a little afraid for our lives when we were pulled over, so we figured we better protect ourselves.
So they walked into the Dearborn Police Department headquarters with long guns drawn around their necks and masks on, video cameras rolling, and received the greeting you might expect.
Dude, put that on the ground. Put it on the ground. I will put a round in you, sir.
Especially considering Detroit saw this kind of shootout at a precinct about 6 years ago. At this point, only the audio is available.
What the hell's the matter with you?
We all calm down?
Put it down. Barrel down, set it down, step back.
Dearborn police arrested the two men, and Lieutenant Gary Mann says on-duty officers showed considerable restraint.
I think in a lot of situations there would have been officers that would have fired at these men.
The weapon one of the men had was an AP-14, a pistol fitted with a long gun barrel and stock, one very dangerous weapon that police were very concerned about.
Has a 7.62 caliber round, which is similar to what an AK-47 would have.
The men are advocates of open carry laws. The Open Carry of Michigan organization contacted the Dearborn Police Department on Monday and said it isn't associated with the men and does not support what they did.
A schoolyard fight turned into a shootout. Now a 14-year-old is in custody accused of opening fire at a high school in near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. East Baton Rouge deputies raced to Scotlandville Magnet High School just minutes after several shots rang out on campus. Police say an undercover detective was nearby and spotted the suspected shooter a few blocks away from the school. Investigators say the student had taken his shirt off and threw a gun on top of a building. Deputies found both. Now the teen is facing a stay in a juvenile detention center and several charges. Local reports suggest the suspect was a newly enrolled student who was about to get into a fight with 3 other students, but pulled a gun out instead and started firing. Thankfully, no one was injured. He gave his life trying to save a woman from a river. Monday, hundreds gathered to offer a final salute to Metro Nashville officer Eric Mumaw. Carly Gordon reports.
When I get where I'm going.
Pictures set to music this morning gave us all just a tiny glimpse into the life of a boy who became a man, the kind willing to die for a stranger.
He changed lives, and he saved lives too. He was, quite simply, a hero.
Nashville Mayor Megan Barry offered words of comfort.
He will always be here with us. He will always be one of Nashville's favorite sons.
Metro Police Chief Steve Anderson talked about Mumaw's many accomplishments and awarded Mumaw the department's highest honor, the Medal of Valor.
He loved being a police officer. He loved the Madison community. The Madison community loved him.
Some gave all. Billy Ray Cyrus and Jamie Johnson performed Some Gave All.
Go rest high on that mountain.
Vince Gill performed as well. He said he saw the news and felt moved by Mumaw's sacrifice. He sang the song he wrote when he lost his own brother 24 years ago.
Son, your word on earth is done.
Mumaw's patrol car, now covered in flowers and notes, lit up as the Metro Police Department issued Mumaw's end-of-watch call.
727 Charles, Madison Precinct Officer Eric Wayne Mumaw is 10-7 for the remainder.
The final salute came from the officers who were working alongside Mumaw the night he died. 3rd Shift Madison Precinct, Mumaw's brothers and sisters in blue.
Protesters take to the streets to speak out against the Dakota Access Pipeline. Zach Schnegg has more on the story.
Thousands of people converged on downtown Los Angeles on Sunday to protest the proposed Dakota Access Pipeline. Activists across the country say it threatens the water supply and sacred sites of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe in North Dakota. Organizers say this was the first anti-pipeline protest in Los Angeles since President Donald Trump signed executive orders to fast-track construction of the Keystone XL and Dakota Access pipelines. The demonstration was the brainchild of Isaac Price, a web designer in Long Beach who created a Facebook page after the executive orders were signed. For Channel 14 News, I'm Zach Schnegg.
A Georgia deputy is dead after responding to an alarm this past weekend. Paul Zalakar has more on this tragic event.
One deputy is dead after inhaling a chemical substance at Zytet Corporation in Augusta, Georgia. Investigators say Sergeant Greg Meager responded to an alarm at the building Sunday afternoon. Deputies believe he inhaled liquid nitrogen and died from his injuries. Meager's body is being brought to Atlanta for an autopsy. At least 3 other deputies were treated after they complained of difficulty breathing. The cause of the chemical leak remains under investigation. For WCTV, I'm Paul Zalakar reporting.
Coming up next, Luke Goodley will have an update for you in business and entertainment. You're watching Channel 14 News.
Oh, sweet. Pizza. What the? Hey, how about you try this banana? Gee, thank you. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot better.
If you be good to your body, it will be good to you. Make smart choices when selecting what you will eat. Visit ChooseMyPlate.gov for more information on the best foods to bring out the best you.
Love is in the air. That's right. Valentine's Day is just a week away. If you and your honey are planning a wedding, well, be prepared to shell out some cash. Couples are spending a record amount of money to get married. Mary Maloney explains where the green goes in today's Consumer Watch.
Forget about the bride and groom. These days, it's all about the guests. At least according to a survey from The Knot, a wedding planning service. Last year, the average wedding had 141 guests. That's fewer attendees than 7 years ago. But couples spent way more. On average, $245 per guest last year, up from $194 in 2009. In the same time frame, spending on entertainment has more than tripled. You could thank things like photo booths, fireworks, and cigar bars. Also, many couples have wedding bands and DJs to keep the party going. All those extras, plus flowers, the dress, and the big spender, the venue, push the budget. The Knot says the average cost of a wedding climbed to more than $35,000 last year. That's a record high, and most couples surveyed say they went over budget. Parents still pick up at least part of the tab, a traditional aspect of the modern wedding. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Not many movies managed to top the box office 3 straight weekends, but one film had a shot this weekend. I have a look at your top 5. Oscar favorite La La Land. $1.5 million gave it $116 million overall. Another Oscar contender, Hidden Figures, made $10.1 million to land in 4th place, boosting its domestic total to $119 million. A Dog's Purpose dropped 1 spot to 3rd place, taking in $10.8 million. Rings was the top new movie opening in 2nd place with, well, a less than impressive $15 million. And a three-peat for Split. The psychological thriller stayed atop the chart for the 3rd straight weekend, grossing $14.6 million for a domestic total of $99 million. Strange during the Super Bowl, and we're not just talking about the halftime show. That's right, with the first teaser for the Netflix original series Stranger Things Season 2, the ad ran during the game, including references to vintage 80s pop culture, including Let Go My Aggo and Ghostbusters. The new series, according to the teaser, begins streaming October 31st. The first season of Stranger Things was a big hit, winning for Best Drama Ensemble at the SAG Awards. If you didn't get to check out WCTV's exclusive footage of the upcoming melee action game For Honor from the game's recent closed beta on WUDP YouTube channel, make sure to check that out and look out for the part 2 of the For Honor gameplay along series coming this Friday with Channel 14's own David Cross and Matt Schinkel. That's all for Channel 14 Business and Entertainment. Coming up next, Ray Beck will have a look at your Jacket Sports Update. Don't go anywhere. Channel 14, we'll be right back.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Women's and men's indoor track and field started up last week, while wrestling shut down its regular season. I'm Ray Beck with your Jacket Sports update for the week. The Waynesburg women's basketball team lost by a slim margin to St. Vincent on Wednesday. However, the disappointing loss by Waynesburg University, junior Addie Knetzer scored her 1,000th career point, a major feat in the President's Athletic Conference. Saturday, the Yellow Jackets women's basketball team hosted the Westminster Titans in the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. Despite Waynesburg's fight to the finish, the Titans sealed the deal in the final second. The men's basketball team also faced St. Vincent in Latrobe on Wednesday for a PAC matchup. John Knabb with 24 points and Marcus Wallace with 18 points led the team's first half. However, the Bearcats had a hot second half that ended in their victory over the Yellow Jackets 83-76. At home on Saturday, the Yellow Jackets hoped for a Westminster upset going into the second half. The men were up by 2 points. The lead was tossed around, but the Titans' 12-3 run shut down the game, and they won 70-75 against the home team. Sunday was the last regular season competition for the Waynesburg wrestling team. Still short 3 key starters, they finished 6th out of 12 teams. This team finished in a 3-way tie for the conference's first place in the regular season. They are resting for the PAC Championships at Washington and Jefferson on Saturday, February 11th. The women's indoor track and field thrived on Sunday. Waynesburg placed 2nd, 3rd, and 5th in the 5,000-meter race. Emily Latimer, Julie Gerber, and Katie Latimer dominated as usual. The Yellow Jackets broke a school record in the 4x400 relay, completing in 4 minutes and 18 seconds. The beginning of the individual men's indoor track and field proved promising for Waynesburg. Our own junior Matthew Schinkel placed 10th in the 60-meter hurdles, taking only 9.18 seconds to finish. Mitch Kendra also had a good day. He cleared 4.15 meters in the pole vault, launching him to 8th place. That is it for your Waynesburg Yellow Jackets sports update. Coming up next with weather is Brandon Rossai. Don't go anywhere. This is Channel 14 News.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
And I'm here with your 5-day weather forecast. It looks as if we're going to have yet another week of bipolar weather, as tomorrow will feature 50% chance of rain in the afternoon. The high is going to reach 49 degrees and the low will bottom out about 27. Thursday will undoubtedly be the coldest day of the week, as we will have just a high of 29 degrees, and the 14-mile-per-hour northwest winds are not going to help how cold it is going to be either, and the low will be 16 degrees. Friday, the sun is going to creep out for the only time this week, but the high will peak at just over freezing at 33, with very similar low temperatures as well at 31 degrees. For the weekend, get ready for some more rain, as Saturday, the high peaks at 49 degrees, the low pinnacles at 45, and Sunday, it will be 58 degrees, but the rain will not let up, as we have an 80% chance of precipitation, and another consecutive week in which the weather or Mother Nature can't make up its mind.
I know what you're talking about. I'm looking forward to what you said at the end of that forecast. 58 next Sunday. Super Bowl's over. We're getting to baseball weather here. It's something I'm looking forward to.
But before we get to that 58, we are having a possible snow Wednesday night into Thursday, so we're not quite out of it. But this weather has been extending the cold season for sure. A lot of people are feeling it. But thanks for tuning in to Channel 14 News.
Be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 5 o'clock.